Previously on Strahd's Curse, and then we get the nice montage of recap events. We see a shot of the huge hulking flesh monster in the basement. As we hear Rose say, "Our brother is trapped inside." We get a really nice shot of an exterior view of Death House as it literally collapses and falls apart. We get a crossfade over to Ghost Rose with the voiceover detailing the man with the pretty eyes came and he said he was going to make me feel good. And then we have the shot of Rose resting her hand on Buick's shoulder as she says, "Can I come with you?" Followed by her literally entering into Buick. Next up, we get a hard cut over as we zoom in real close on Istvan's face as his nose kind of detects the smell of death. Then we get a shot of Perrin facing down all of the blights as Istvan's voiceover says, that wolves are agents of the devil, followed by a contradictory scene as Perrin in direwolf form leaps in the way of a blight attack against Buick. Then we get a couple of good action shots as Istvan summons the Morning Lord's wrath and burns away a bunch of the blights. We watch as Quill unleashes a magical attack on the druid. We get a nice villain hero exchange as the druid kind of does a "we'll meet again," shakes fist, and then disappears in a flash of his cloak. We get a nice shot of Kuatir unleashing his arrows from a nice, safe, comfortable distance way in the back. And then we see Perrin in direwolf form biting into the blight flesh and tearing chunks of wood out. Followed by Perrin getting his ass choked out and falling unconscious. We then get a shot of Istvan as he discovers the letter in the dead Barovian's hand. The voiceover recaps the letter, which is basically "Stay away. The Burgomaster of Barovia believes this land to be cursed." Then we get a nice exterior shot as the party arrives in the village of Barovia, surrounded by the mists and woods, heading into the Blood on the Vine Tavern. The party splits up slightly as Perrin and Istvan goes up to the bar to get a drink and ask questions about the boy who you were looking for. We watch as Quill sits down with the Vistani, even though Istvan seemed less than friendly towards them. And we see
a different guy, in all fairness.
Sure. We also see Buick sit down with a blonde-haired man who says that he is the Burgomaster now, and his sister is in danger. Then we see, and then Buick tries to gather everybody together while Quill has gotten super drunk on strong Barovian wine, and Perrin and Istvan are watching from the bar as Buick steps up and begins to approach Quill. Yes.
What was the name of session 1? The title? Did it have one?
Oh yeah, session 1. The title was Death House.
Thank you. Wait. Okay. Death House, Durst House, hidden in the floorboards. Every rose has her thorn, and then whatever today is. Correct?
Yes. The second session you were talking about, that title is actually What Secrets Lie.
Oh, sorry. What secrets lie? ...
And as we finish our recap montage, we open up with our theme music and credits roll, and we get a nice picture that comes up that says Strahd's Curse, It's Never Sunny in Barovia, featuring with Danny DeVito.
Which was brilliant, I have to say. That was awesome.
I really enjoyed that too.
I was just gonna do the It's Always Sunny in Barovia part, and then he suggested that, and I'm like, oh man. All right. You didn't give us a title for today, correct?
Not yet.
Okay.
When you introduce Strahd, can you give him a Danny DeVito voice?
No. Strahd is not Danny DeVito, no matter how much you want him to be.
I'm gonna have to run Strahd's curse just so he can sound like Danny DeVito.
Oh, we got the book
It's
at
more of
home.
a Keanu Reeves look. I mean, if you really want to go classic, you can go.
Gary
Christopher
Oldman.
Lee.
Yeah.
Well, Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Come on, you
Oh,
fuckers. Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
don't sass me again this week.
Oh, I'll sass you all I want. All right, Kuatir, you said you were off in the corner reading a book.
I reserved a table with not enough chairs, and I started reading the evil books.
Yep. So not Buick. Yeah. Well, Buick is currently discussing with Quill, trying to pull her away from the three Vistani, who are currently doing their best to keep you ensorcelled, Quill.
Read Vistani.
Chicks.
Yeah. No, like 3 blind mice.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I am fully ensorcelled.
You are? Okay, so Buick will fail. Quill, or not Quill.
Sorry.
What's your name? Golden Eyes.
There's 7.
What do you want? I'm gonna call you Golden Eyes. What are you doing right now? Buick seems intent on gathering everybody up.
He's gathering up to go talk to the man that was staring at all of us when we came in, right?
He already went and talked to the blonde man. He seems like he wants to talk to you about what he's learned.
I'll go over.
Okay, so you're gonna sit down with Kuatir as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Istvan will also, because I don't have anything better to do.
I think that's all the chairs. The others have to stand.
Fuck something. Oh yeah. As a reminder, Thorn, the young boy, you were told that he went to the castle.
You did.
We have not slept, right? Right. Okay.
No, you have not slept.
Yep. Gotcha.
But it is pretty late. It is
Trick.
this. Istvan will tell you that the sun has set, though
So
it's still.
mage armor would have been gone by now, 8 hours or no?
Your what?
Mage armor.
Did you cast it at the beginning of the day?
Yeah, she said she did.
I think it was like way at the beginning of the death house.
Too. Right at the beginning of the house, yeah.
Well, the beginning of the house and the beginning of the day are two different events.
It was the beginning of the house because it was last session.
Because you forgot to do it before the wolves.
All right,
Correct.
so it's still up.
Okay.
It was only like a 2-hour walk from Death House to Barovia.
All right.
And it was only like a 2-hour walk from the wolves to Death House. So you're only about halfway through.
Okay.
All right. So Quill, Buick comes up to you and tries to pull your drunk ass away from your new sisters.
But we're having the drinks, Buick. Wait, that's not my voice. What?
It's her drunk voice.
We're drinking, Buick, of like very, very fancy grown-ups.
And yeah, by the way, like Quill is a 14-year-old girl.
I'm 18.
You might be in an 18-year-old body, but you have experienced life in this world for 14.
I know. That's why I said we're drinking like adults, because adults wouldn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, kids would say.
My more important point is that you have had very little experience with alcohol.
Yeah, but we're drinking. That's what grown-ups do.
And the three girls, oh, they're not girls, they're women. The 3 women all kind of brush him off and was like, yeah, go away. We're talking to our new sister.
We're talking to my sister. Go play with your little friend, Rose. That means go play with yourself. Go play with yourself, Buick.
Man, you are rapidly ingratiating yourself with these people.
I'm drunk. And
I know.
mean.
Well, these are like the stereotypical mean girls, and you're just
I'm wearing
playing
sure. I'll call. What do you want, Buick? Buick.
What's an 8?
Buick says he wants to talk to you about Thorn and
You're a thorn.
He just gives you a look, and then he's like, "All right, enough of this," and he heads back to the table.
How far away is the table?
Like you can see them
Can I
pretty
hear them?
easily.
Or no?
Not really. And once Buick leaves, the three sisters go back to talking about whatever they were talking about.
Girl stuff, probably like tampons.
Is there music playing?
There is no music. They're not talking about tampons. I don't even think tampons existed back then.
Well, they probably shoved something up in there. Most people did through history.
Sure.
No, seriously, they did.
Wow.
But they're like discussing their lives and sort of complimenting each other and basically doing, like I said, they're kind of stereotypical college or high school mean girls from the movie Mean Girls.
Right.
So you kind of get wrapped up in a conversation with them.
Yeah. My intention, I think I told you, right, is not to like stay with them forever. I don't think she would be too keen on just walking away from her new sisters.
Yeah, especially since you don't know the truth about them.
Exactly. Right.
They're all Strahd. They merged
Yes.
together into Strahd like Voltron.
Nice.
Strahd is everywhere.
True. He's in us all.
All right, so to the other two, and Ishvan, who's not fucking there, Buick describes that the blonde-haired individual, he is the burgomaster of this town. His father passed away, and his sister is currently in danger, and he wants to talk with all of us about some kind of mission.
Missionary.
Mission is scary.
And he says that he is willing to pay you.
Broke my wrist.
And Buick grabbed a chair from one of the other tables, so he has a seat.
And that's when the voice over the stripper's pole says, "No, you can't do that. You gotta put it back." It actually happened to me in the strip club in Syracuse.
What? You licked the pole?
No, I moved the chair and then I yelled at.
Well, Arik, the barkeep, doesn't care like at all. He's just cleaning his glasses.
How much are you willing to pay?
You're talking to Buick right now. The blonde-haired man did not come over.
Oh. How much is he willing to pay?
He says, I didn't ask. I figured we'd start by learning what we needed to do, and then we could figure out how much to pay.
I'm with my book and saying, so if I do this hand movement, I can make people's ears bleed.
All right, so he's pretty clearly not paying attention, so he'll probably just follow us.
Yeah.
So I guess it's mostly on you, Perrin. Do you want to listen to this guy, or do you want to just... Do you have something better to do?
I kind of give you a look of like sympathy when it comes to the companions that he has. And then, yeah, I'll go listen to him.
All right.
If I sensed any recognition of me being in here at all,
You can make an insight check.
With triple disadvantage.
Not 20.
No, it's
Nat
not.
20?
It's 1.
Is it actually a nat 20?
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. You detect... How do I phrase this?
Careful.
The three Vistani are literally paying you less than half a mind.
Good.
Like they gave you one look, and what's your charisma score?
It's a -1.
Yeah, they gave you one look and realized that you were a brute who lived in the forest, and you probably slept with animals, and were not particularly attractive. So they're not really paying any attention to you. They gave you a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10 in hotness.
And the irony is, they're probably the ones with the clap.
Gross.
In case you're curious, they do not have clap.
Make a medicine check.
Arik, the bartender, is like I said, busy cleaning his glasses. He doesn't even seem to be conscious unless you're actually at the bar asking him questions. He's the blonde-haired individual in the corner hasn't really recognized you, but he is keeping an eye on you. There is one Barovian who seems to be watching you, just kind of tucked in the corner.
Well, I'll go with Burdick and Esteban over to.
You intentionally mispronouncing their names?
I know. Well, that one time I was, but I'll go with Burdick over to the blonde-haired kid.
Buick?
Yeah, Buick. Sorry, Burdick. I don't know.
He's
Buick,
a truck.
Like
His name is Buick Riviera.
I can't help it. So we'll go with Burdick and what's his name again? Estav.
Istvan.
Ishtan.
I don't think it's spelled with an H
It
though.
isn't.
It's Istvan.
Istvan.
Istvan. It's Istvan.
It's Istvan.
Not Constantinople.
Nobody knows about the Turks.
It's nobody's business but the Turk.
They were great concepts.
Why'd they change it? I can't say.
I didn't like it better that way. Okay,
No,
so we'll go over.
Istvan, not Esteban.
And I'll be arrogant and cocky. So you wish to negotiate with us? You can talk to me.
He looks you up and down, and now that you're nice up close and personal in his face, he's gonna let's see if he's heard the tales of Goldeneye.
007.
Golden eyes.
Yeah, you have two of them.
Probably got 3, let's be honest.
Hold on, I need to look up veteran stats.
Will's never gonna know.
No, she's not. She's 14.
She's 18.
Oh,
The first thing that happened when she changed was Buick said she's legal.
it's true.
That is true.
Everybody her boobs.
I don't know if Buick or Shu said that, but somebody in that seat said it. Golden Eyes, do you want to be recognized, or are you kind of hoping to not be recognized?
It's the idea that he doesn't. It's not a matter of wanting or not wanting to be recognized. He just is aware of his surroundings if he is recognized.
Sure.
Because he knows that people have opinions of him, whether they're wrong or right. There's 3 reactions. Either they want to kill him, they want to work with him, or they just don't give a shit.
Sure. All right. So Golden Eyes is not doing anything in particular to like hide him.
No.
Like make his presence known. So he's still wearing the same necklace or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. So you kind of sauntered up to him and said, "You can negotiate with me." And as he looks you up and down, he kind of gestures at the chair and says, "Please have a seat."
Also.
And he says, "Would you like a drink?" It's on me.
No, I'm all right.
He gestures at Eric and sets a silver on the table. Eric brings over a glass of wine for Ismark. He seems to be having a few drinks. Like he's definitely not sober, but he's not wasted.
Not like Quill.
Is he chocolate wasted?
No, he's like in morning wasted.
Death happens.
Well, you wanted to negotiate.
Tell us what you need.
He gestures at Buick and says, "Your friend here, he has letters from my father. Well, one letter from my father and one letter from what I presume to be the devil." And he does a religious gesture. A religious gesture you've seen before. Mm-hmm. It's the symbol of the Morning Lord. My sister is hunted by the devil. He's come to our house twice now to claim her hand, and his agents assaulted our house for weeks until he broke my father's heart.
So you want us to protect your sister?
I want you to guide my sister out of Barovia and make sure she is safe.
Right here.
And I will pay you 50 gold each if you do this.
That's a tidy sum.
I have to take up the mantle of my father's lands and holdings, so I have access to all of his accounts. But my sister is the one who I truly wish to see safe.
Where exactly are we taking her?
I've heard that Vallaki is well defended. It seems to have created uh, anti devil protocols that have held up for many years.
History?
Sure.
Just a 9.
Yeah. Well, because of your backstory, you have definitely heard of Vallaki. The Vallaki was the town that you went to rally the townsfolk.
So I guess my question in knowing that is, do I know if the quote unquote defenses are actually real?
From your understanding, they didn't have any particular defenses in place when you left. It's very likely, like when you left, there was nothing special.
Mm.
With that history roll, you probably figure that if these defenses are real and put in place, they must have been put in place after what happened.
So we take your sister there, leave her in someone's hands, and that's it?
He says, I think Vallaki is safe, but the job that I am asking of you is for my sister to be safe.
And that's what I'm asking. If we are simply an escorting your sister, or are we keeping her safe while in Vallaki?
There has to be some place in this land that is free from the devil's hand.
Mm. My friend, you should know better. How do you spell that, Mike?
Spell what?
Vallaki.
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 Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to make the quote unquote assumption.
Hey, on my way over. Be there 6:40.
Okay.
You can just walk in. We're here, obviously.
And he's gone. Oh wait, no, he's right there. Sorry.
Still there.
You were in the upper right corner, and then you weren't in the upper right corner.
Oh, I switched corners. I have a new ability to teleport.
Oh, he's
between
invisible
corners
now.
of Skype.
You're a ghost.
So I would assume that looking at Buick and kind of nodding at him sounds like a reasonable request. I can say that I've traveled many of these lands. I'm willing to take on the risk.
He nods and says, I'm glad to hear that. I've heard suspicious things about you. So I'm glad that you are not true.
Mm-hmm. Without knowing what you've heard, it's hard to distinguish truth from fact, but let's say it's true what you've heard, and if it's scary, well, better to believe it.
I heard you led a few dozen innocent villagers into an ambush.
Unfortunately, that is true. They, like I, decided the devil needed to be taken care of, and while I admit that I led them, and I admit that it was not a well thought out plan, their deaths were still on themselves. But that was many, many years ago. Probably before you were born.
Yes, it is definitely before he was born. Well, actually, it's not 100% certain it was before he was born, but it was definitely.
That's why I say
if he was born, he would have been like a babe. He would still be on his mother's teat.
Did you tickle yourself?
No, that was Paul.
Oh,
Yeah,
did you tickle yourself, Paul? I mean,
Teeth is one of those words that only gets used in fantasy, in high fantasy. So there you go.
Remember,
Well, that's because you can't say boob.
remember, Mike, move, bitch, get out of my hay.
Anyways.
Are y'all talking to the Burger Master? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, they're talking to Ismark.
Basically,
Yeah.
he in Buick. He wants us. He wants to pay us 50 gold to escort his sister to Vallaki, where he thinks she'll be safe from the devil. He's visited him 3 times or twice.
Twice. And Ismark was saying he wants his sister safe, not that he wants her escorted to Vallaki.
Same thing.
Is it?
It really is.
Huh.
What you're saying is his sister has danced with the devil.
Paul, are you available for roleplay, or is this just to keep apprised of things?
Depends how well you can hear me. Is really what's. I mean, I'm right around. But,
Yeah, like you're.
But if you can hear me, okay, I'm happy to more or less participate. I just didn't presume the audio was going to work out.
That seems to be fine enough. So, Perrin, you seem to be agreeing to follow Ismark back to his house to discuss this deal a little bit more.
I do want to know his house. He said his house has been under attack by what?
He said agents of the devil. And as he says that, he kind of leans in a little bit conspiratorially, and he kind of does a little bit of a chin point at the table with the 4 mean girls. And he says, it would be, if you wish to continue this conversation, it would be best to take it away from here.
So I presume that you can give us lodging tonight then?
He says, if you follow me back to my house, then I would be happy to provide lodging for you.
Yeah.
He starts beeping.
Were you backing that ass up, Paul?
He was.
It's enough ass that you got to get a warning.
I like you, Mom.
That's right. That's the best ass. No, wait.
All right, so, Perrin, it sounds like you're agreeing, because once Paul walks in the door, I want to scene transition a bit.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not dragging the 14 yet.
You're not dragging the 14? What?
I'm not dragging. Somebody's got to drag the 14-year-old girl along.
Whoever has the highest strength score.
Oh, no, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I can have it if I shapeshift.
So, Buick tried and failed to get Quill away from the mean sisters. Kuatir, at this point,
I probably should.
Kuatir, at this point, you've got a good understanding of how your spell casting stuff works.
Oops. Sorry.
And you also realize that all of those books from the Durst family house, all of their rituals are crap.
Crap, you say?
But
Crap.
I got a couple spells out of it.
Like, you mistranslated their faulty rituals into actual rituals.
Oh, so I made up some spells.
Yes, there you go.
Awesome.
You unfortunately definitely did not learn anything from the books, though.
Oh, well, now it's just a matter of getting the material components for 2 of them.
Paul, is your phone? Okay, there we go. Can Paul hear me?
Yep.
He can hear you.
Okay.
He's just ignoring you.
Cool. So, Istvan, it seems like Buick and Perrin are interested in talking with the blonde-haired individual in the bar who is claiming to be the burgomaster. Yeah. And the burgomaster wants you to follow him back to his house to discuss the deal in greater detail, as well as give you lodging for the night. However, Buick tried and failed to pull Quill away from her new Vistani sisters. And you would remember that these 3 are dressed as Vistani, but are bearing a very distinctive mark under their left eye that indicates they were at one point Vistani, but did something so terrible as to have been thrown out of their clan.
Okay. Which parts did I overhear or not? Snacks. Or snacks.
Thank you.
Which parts, if any, did I overhear of the Perrin Buick conversation?
You overheard. I assumed most of it.
Okay.
Like I assumed you kind of followed with them for a bit.
Sure.
And so yeah, you already know most of the Ismark stuff, so you already know all that.
Yes. So now we know what comes of heroism in this land.
So someone has to go pull Quill away from the mean girls. Perrin's not interested. Buick failed.
If I can find some copper wire, I could try some magic bullshit.
I mean, I'll whisper to
Mike.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'll whisper to I can never say your name. Esteban?
Istvan.
Esteban. Sorry. I have a way of making her come with us, although she might not like it when she's done.
There's a way. Grab her by the wrist. Is this so difficult? You seem a very strong, strapping gentleman.
I'm not one for grabbing children.
Is there another way to raise children?
Hey, yeah, you guys remember Quill is the strongest out of all of you.
Which makes no sense.
Don't take strength as your dump stat.
Mine's not a dump stat. I'm a caster, not a fighter.
I'm a fucking caster too, not a fighter.
Become a wolf. Grab her with your jaws.
You said that already.
Retrieve her home.
I go back to my comment before. I'm capable of walking to this person's house. Perhaps child's your problem.
And you're about to take on another child.
Burgomaster is one thing.
This is like a 20-something.
Exactly.
Still a child.
He's willing to pay us money, so.
All right, so Perrin's gonna go with Ismark.
Did I ever hear
Buick's
why Quill didn't?
She's just drunk.
Quill's been drinking with the three sisters' room.
Yeah, Quill is drunk and enraptured in a conversation about adult things.
Yeah.
Adult situation.
Who wants to be in the frame?
I don't.
Well,
if you told me, I would have brought my laptop.
that's nice. I thought.
So, Kuatir and Istvan, are either of you going to try anything to pull Quill away?
Well, if I can find some copper wire, I can try to cast a message and pretend to be someone.
Her inner voice. I mean,
This is your conscience.
You're strong enough. I mean, you're almost as strong as she is, right? You can...
+0.
Oh, I think she can't be plus much.
I mean, +1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Whoops.
Yeah.
All right. I suppose I need to ask this question now. I was hoping to save it, but I'll need to ask it. Istvan, what is your thought of the three sisters talking to one of your companions?
It's a multi-layered tapestry. I'm disgusted by them, but many things around here disgust me. In this, there are many difficult, dangerous, and ugly things in this world.
It disgusts you so much you don't even want to go over and pull her away from them.
Well, but like I said, it's a tapestry. At some level, I mean, she can do what she wants, whatever. I'm not a parent or anything.
You're her grandpa.
Well, vaguely. I'm mostly a mean grandpa. I'm torn between not wanting to waste time particularly, and also she can learn her lesson. She may learn a very valuable lesson this way. I don't really want them to totally exploit her, but
not totally.
Just Vistani believe in tough love, so
all right.
So that's why I'm actually what I'm doing is I'm actually thinking a minute to see if there's anything I'm going to do.
Cool. Kuatir, if you don't have copper wire on you, you're gonna have to go over to the mercantile store and buy some.
Better yet, buy an arcane focus. That you can use that for all your spells, like a wand or a crystal or
use your bear
staff.
trap.
I think you still at least need to have the components, even if you.
Not unless it has a
Or
dot.
component pouch.
If you have a component pouch or an arcane focus, you don't need the material component unless there is gold value listed.
All right, I don't have those spells yet, so I'll run over to the mercantile.
Hey, you know who has an arcane focus? Quill does.
It's the rat, though.
No, I don't know what my focus is. I can't remember what I showed.
I mean, most players sort of ignore it, frankly, but
Oh, I just
It's
wrote
not yours,
focus
yeah.
down.
Yours is coming.
It's either crystal, a staff, or a wand. I think are the options.
Probably
Whoever-
some
Or
jewelry.
component pouch. Those are probably all the
Whoever
options.
wishes to try and bring her along, I can give you an enhancement. If you so
Now
wish.
you.
So you're into male enhancements.
No.
Well,
it's
who are you giving this enhancement to? Kuatir is running out, but he seems to be the one interested in doing something about it.
I'm running over to the mercantile for either copper wire or an arcane focus.
Use your frog stick.
I don't know what that does.
You just need a wand of smiles.
Yeah.
Okay, so Istvan walks up to Quill and says, "Okay,
What?
all right, young Miss
Grandpa.
Stani.
Grandpa, grandfather, grandpater.
Playtime is over. You've had enough time with these swine.
Yes.
The other adults are leaving.
We are sitting right
I am
here.
an adult.
I
too.
see you.
I am an adult, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Do you wish to come with the
She
adults,
is-
or do you wish to stay with the children?
We are not children.
Are you children?
I'm not talking to you.
Wait.
We are not. We are not children.
Because I was
We-
a children earlier today, but now
We
I'm
own
not.
this bar. You sleep
We
with
own
horse
this
butts.
bar. We sleep with horse balls. Whatever.
You. She's pointing at Ishvan, saying he sleeps in tents made of horse butts.
I'm leaving. Are you coming or not?
Oh, sisters, I have to go, but you
No,
only
stay with
told-
us.
I know, but they are kind of they are the people I am with right now.
But you
And
can
I will-
stay and you can be with us right now.
But I can come back and be with you later.
I'm gonna cast charm.
Mhm.
On who?
Oh, Quill,
Yes,
you
beautiful.
beautiful young lady, come with
Oh.
us.
Wow.
Oh, so roll wisdom save.
I mean, I really don't need to because you called me beautiful.
Was that the charm spell?
Oh, that's a
basically just calling you
19
beautiful
plus.
was the charm.
19
Yeah, it doesn't
plus
work.
2, 21.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Oops. I mean, wait. I can. I
You
can
can choose to fail, right?
I choose to
But
fail.
you should probably ask if Quill would choose.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem.
I mean,
Um,
I will say, come, you beautiful darling. Let us go
Okay.
and
If he says that, she's super into it, and
Let's
she's
go.
going.
be important somewhere else.
My Vistani sisters. I may come back too late tonight, perhaps, and we shall drink more of this wonderful drink.
Perrin, you notice that one of the girls is sorry, she's not a girl, she's a woman. One of the women is locking eyes with you and has a very intense stare about her. The other two,
She likes you.
the other two seem to have realized that no matter what they're trying, Quill is not listening, and so they have already written you off. It's like, oh, we thought you were gonna be cool, but you're gonna leave, so fine, just go.
Yeah, the one that locks eyes with me.
Wink.
I produce flame in my hands, and I kind of go like this.
I can't see you because you're not in frame.
My fingers in front of her face. I go like this. With the flame in my hand, so it's kind of like, and then I walk away.
And
Yeah,
I
as you
Oh,
walk away, the woman stands up and says, "Come on, girls, we have a meeting." And
Well,
she heads into the
I-
back room. They're not paying any attention to you anymore. Like
good. I don't care.
the queen
Keep
bee.
going. Beautiful.
Are you gonna keep interrupting me?
Yeah, sorry.
Apparently.
You can
Uh,
add it to my list.
The queen bee is like, "Come on, we're leaving," and the three of them head out the back of the tavern.
I think they're mad at me.
They don't matter.
And Quill, you are still super drunk because you got drunk on the first glass, and then they kept feeding them to you.
Do you want to carry me? I'll throw myself at him.
Does lesser restoration cure drunkenness?
Yeah.
Is that a poison condition?
Are you gonna? Have you tried it before?
Yes, I'm certain I've encountered drunk people that I've wanted to sober up before.
I'm pretty sure-
Yeah, but didn't you just gain the ability to cast lesser restoration?
It did.
So you have no idea. You haven't tried it yet.
Sorry, I'm trying to be quiet.
Oh, good call. Fair enough.
You can cast it if you want.
Yeah, that makes sense. No,
I mean,
I don't care that. I don't care that much.
Are those
Okay.
walnuts?
With a 10 strength, I can probably
I think so,
carry it,
something
right?
like-
I mean,
She's She's an 18-pound girl. Like, yeah, you can carry her.
Pretty much.
I'll scoop her up into my arms. And...
No problem.
Can I see?
These are
Hey,
from an event last night. So
Quill, make an insight check.
Ooh, that's minty-ish. That is not
I
good.
think the inside check was spicy. I thought we were going with that one. The spicy
That's
check.
the spicy inside check.
10.
10. Yep, I'm good.
You feel a fluttering in your heart as Perrin lifts you up into his arms.
The ship has been built.
My hero. I did not know you liked Vistani girls. I thought you
Perrin,
liked
this
Vistani
18-year-old
dogs.
girl is super drunk in your arms. My hero.
As we're walking, I'm just thinking.
You got both hands on your ass.
It's quite firm.
Yeah.
No, I figured it was like
Your strength isn't that high.
over the
My
threshold.
dexterity
kind of.
is, so I'm like a gymnast.
No, it's
Yeah,
over
he's a
the
runner. He's track and
threshold.
field.
My
Super,
arms around his neck.
Aww.
super classy. Boobs pressing into chest.
Do you like these? They're new.
Can you give me a description by fruit, how big they are? Are we talking
No, like
apples, or are
Just
we
tiny.
talking like cantaloupe?
no, they would be like
You have to roll for
oranges,
this.
maybe.
The original D&D would have had tables for
They
this.
would have. They're not huge. They're very proportionate to her, and she's tiny. She's
Oh,
well.
They're
She
anime
was-
style A cups.
So that means they're huge. Like, she can't stand up.
No, A cup.
A cup, the smallest of anime boobs. It's still fairly big.
She's probably not that much bigger than she was, in all honesty, because she was
Fully
90.
mature at 14.
Yeah, she was
I'll sing to her in
Five.
Elven and quietly as we're walking to the castle.
she was
Aw.
5'1"
You're the bard of the party now.
and 97 pounds.
Yep.
So at 18, we're gonna call her.
You start singing, down with the shit.
Oh wait,
That does sound like a Barovian lullaby.
would I would still I would have would my body have changed a
Yes.
little bit, right?
Yeah,
okay.
mostly your body changed.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's your
All right,
mind that
so
really
at
didn't.
18,
Yeah,
so
you're a 14-year-old and an 18-year-old body.
I'm gonna
Also,
be
you're still kind of bald.
yep. I'm gonna be 5'3" and 112 pounds now.
Cool.
Okay.
Over-encumbered.
So the four of you and Quill follow Ismark out of the Blood of the Vine Tavern. Actually, sorry, no. Kuatir, you ran over to the Mercantile.
Yeah, I went over to see if it's open.
It's open.
I go in.
Inside, you can see there is one guy standing behind a counter with a lot of mostly barren shelves.
They're bare in the shelves.
And he,
So-
he kind of looks over at you and he says, "Oh, hello. I don't think I've seen you before.
Do you have an arcane focus?
You mean like a stick?"
I don't know. I'm new to this whole magic thing. I found it there
He
today.
says, "I think I do." And he goes over and he picks up an orb. And he says, one of the Vistani over on the crossroads traded this for me for money to buy wine. I can sell it to you for 200 gold pieces.
Can I test it out real quick to see if it works?
You can hold it and you can not leave my store.
I'm holding it.
That's all I
I'm
need.
leaving the store.
I'm gonna I'm gonna describe to him, okay, I'm gonna take 5 steps back and try something. I'm gonna
As you do that, he
Um,
picks up a great club and sets it on the counter and says, "Okay."
I put it up to my mouth, cover my face, and I'm gonna try to cast message at him and say, "Is it working?"
It works.
All right.
He responds saying, "Of course it works. I don't sell shoddy gear."
All right. I come back over. I have that long sword we took from the death house. Is this enough to cover it?
He says, "No, I don't trade in weapons."
How's your alignment feel about killing shopkeepers?
Or stealing jewelry off of a drunk girl.
He rests a hand on the orb and tries to pull it closer to himself.
Sensing you have no money.
So he wants us to protect his sister.
I don't have my face step because I freaking used that. Oh wait, would our time in the bar have counted as a short rest?
You weren't in that bar for very long,
And you were reading.
and you were reading.
I want to say something out of character, but
So he pulls the orb back to him.
You can haggle for sure.
I'll step up.
Maybe not that much, but
Wasn't there one more?
Well, I've got
one
10
more
gold.
you're halfway there.
You offered 10 gold.
That's literally all of my money.
I'm gonna roll to see what his emotional reaction to that is. I can't tell.
Maybe he
Okay.
rolls.
He says, if that's the best you've got, get the hell out of my establishment and come back when you have some coin. And he sets the orb underneath the counter and picks up the Great Club.
Well, in that case, do you have any copper wire?
He leans over and he clips this long piece of copper wire off of a spool. And he says, I'll trade this to you for all your gold.
Whoa.
Have you checked the components in your other spells?
My other spell is I need water, but I can get that anywhere.
You can make water anywhere.
Water everywhere except enough to cast the spell.
I have a fistful of silverware we stole from the Durst house, and I smack like a knife on the table.
If it's real silver.
He picks it
Still
up
overpaying for the
and
copper.
he looks it over. And you stole this from Durst House, you said?
Yeah.
It should be copper for copper.
Well, he's been insulted by your paltry offer, so he's not going to trade it to you at a fair price. And he's also offered, all of his things are 10 times what you would expect them to be, so he's not particularly prone on selling at a decent price. Okay, as you pull the silverware out of your bag, you notice that it is far more tarnished and ill cared for now that you have removed it from the Durst house. And he doesn't seem to find it worth anything.
Oh, crap.
He says, you can keep that. It'll help you to stay fed on a cold winter's night. Are you going to pay me, or am I going to have to get my club? You have worn his patience thin.
You do that to me all the time.
Did you get your club?
Yep. It's this.
Yeah.
Yes or no, Kuatsir? What are you going to do?
Miss Donnie Love.
I'll go to my backup plan, which is see if there's any copper wire at the burgomaster's house.
So you're going to turn around and leave. He's going to just take the copper and he's just going to set it on a pile of copper strips. So he's cut it from the spool, so he's got to put it somewhere.
Up his ass.
And you leave and you head towards you rejoin the rest of the party as they head towards the burgomaster's house.
Yes.
All right.
How did your quest fare?
Well, I think we found someone who's probably an agent of Strahd. Or, crap, I said his name out loud.
Go ahead and go ahead and roll a d20.
Yes!
Flying.
15.
Okay.
Noted.
Good to know.
Quill is still drunk in Perrin's arms.
That's how many square inches of skin he'll leave on you when he finds you.
So as you are following Ismark, he says, my father's house is just down this way. And he kind of points, like as you exited the tavern, he kind of points directly ahead on the Barovian map. Get out of my way. There we are. On the Barovian map, that's the bar, and that's his house.
Can I ask a question?
What?
How do you spell Eastmark? East.
Ismark.
ISMARK. Thank you. Eastmark.
Welcome. as you are heading down the street, you can see. How do I? What's the exact phrasing on this? Hold on.
Phrasing.
Pastor is amazed at the unusually large amount of blood.
As you are heading down the street, you hear the sounds of small wooden wheels rolling across damp cobbles.
Bring out
Uh,
today.
You trace the lonely sound to a hunched figure bundled in rags pushing a rickety wooden cart through the fog towards you.
Vasily.
Um,
Have you seen this figure before?
right now, they're a ways off pushing a cart through the mists. As you get closer, you can hear the sounds of Istvan. You would actually be somewhat familiar with this sound. It's an old Barovian lullaby being sung.
Okay.
And as you get closer, the cart kind of stops, and the figure kind of pulls their hood back a bit, and you see an old woman who's relatively short, but not a halfling, but with like a really tight bun up hair. Steph and Paul, you both Steph, you commented that my grandma Offner looks like a Russian Baba Ganoush. I think you called her.
Either that or was it Italian?
She's Italian.
Anyway.
Might have been Italian, but she looks like that.
Gotcha.
She's kind of she's a little bit stockier, average height, tied up hair, and she kind of waves at all of you and says, "Oh, hello." And she spots Ismark and says, "Burgomaster," and she kind of bows to him slightly.
Do I recognize her? I haven't met her.
Why don't you? How much time do you spend in Barovia? Barovia Village, not Barovia Land.
The village? Probably not a lot in the village. I probably pass through.
You can go ahead and roll a d20, and if you get above a 15, then you may have met her.
17.
Fuck. You have met this woman before. Everyone calls her Granny, and she is a famous meat pie seller. She moves from through the village selling pies to people. And she says, Ismark, who are all your friends here? And she kind of points at all of you, and she notices you, Istvan.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I think I know you. I'd recognize that clothing anywhere.
Yes, Granny. Good evening.
Good evening.
Did you find a girl yet? Have you settled down?
Aww, I'm right here.
Granny wants to get married.
I appreciate your concern, but no, I'm single.
And ready to mingle.
She says, it's because you're so skinny. You need to eat more.
I filled up, but thank you.
And she turns to Buick and makes a comment on Buick, and then she turns to Perrin and Quill. She says, "Oh, I see a cute couple brewing here."
Yes, you do, Granny.
Shipped you two.
My eyes just roll in their sockets. You can.
He is
enhanced by the
overwhelmed.
moonlight.
He is overwhelmed by his love for me.
In a flat phone voice, yes, I'm so overwhelmed.
I told you.
She kind of pulls a pie out, and she says, "You two, you know what? I'm going to give you something, a celebration of your love." And she looks at Quill specifically and says, "What kind of pie would you like? Would you want a meat pie or a maple nut pie? I have fruit pies."
Do you have something that won't make me puke? Because I don't feel so good right now.
And then I kind of lean her that way.
aim her mouth away.
I kind of lean her this way.
She kind of takes out one of her pies and she says, "You need a good strong meat pie. We'll give you.
Oh yes, I do.
It'll make you feel good and strong." And she wraps it up in a wrapping, and she kind of hands it to Perrin. She hands it to Perrin and says, you make sure that she eats now, okay? You want
wanna-
your beloved to be taken good care of.
I'm gonna take one of my many thousands of rings off and give it to her and say, "Thank you, Granny."
She takes the ring and she looks at it and she says, "This is too much. Normally, I only charge 1 gold for a pie."
Oh, that is only 1 gold ring. It's good. You take. Look at me.
She takes the ring and she leans over to you, Ishmark. Istvan. And she says, "Perhaps you should hold on to this for her until she is back on her feet. You are the old responsible one. You need to us old people need to teach those young people how to handle themselves."
This one needs much instruction in handling herself.
She needs much handling. Thank you.
Yes,
And
I pocket it.
Yeah, and she says to you, Ishvan, "You make sure now that she eats. She needs to get big and strong."
Of course, we wish her to be lively and energetic.
Well, help me, child. You throw
Parrot?
up, I'll drop you.
Did none of you have eaten yet? Really? Did any of you want to buy a pie from her?
I just tried.
You
Nah.
did buy a pie. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to everybody else.
No, we're getting. Parent's not going to. He's going to get fed by the Burgermaster.
That's
the deal.
You presume.
Nope, that was
I
the
mean-
deal. Housing and lot and feeding.
Oh, did he say that? He said
The
that.
rich person is letting us stay at his house. He better be feeding us.
Exactly.
Buick is going to Buick is going to hand over gold and pick up a pie.
I had a deer yesterday. I'm good.
Did you ask Buick if that's the case?
If Buick decides not to, then I'll assume that Ismark will pay for it or something.
Very well.
Somebody else is buying a pie. There's not going to be 1 pie. There's 2 pies.
There's no pies.
I just remembered about all the stuff I took from the treasure room in Death House. So one by one, I'm going to put it up to my mouth and try to cast a message at Drunk Quill. I start with the bone knife. Well, this is your conscience.
Quill, make a perception check. Just a straight roll.
My, this Barovian pie.
Hang on.
Maybe evil full of
Perception?
weevils, but
It's
Yeah.
for now it looks fried.
12.
12. You can hear Kuatir whispering at you from like 5 feet away. He's holding something to his mouth.
What? What are you eating? Are you eating
I'm
the?
probably too close.
Don't eat the knife. You should make Buick eat it, and then it'll kill Rose inside him.
Granny says,
In the
I have customers that I need to go give their pies to. So you all take care, and you can be sure to visit me at any time. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your generosity.
She gives
I will devour your pie later.
she gives Quill a kind of like a little tap on the side of the face, like, and then she picks up her cart and starts walking into the mist. Her wheels creaking away.
Istvan, why don't you marry Granny and then I have Granny too? Is she too old for you? Too young.
Dark rumors circulate about her. I would not eat the pie if I were you.
Eastmark says, "What rumors have you heard?"
It is better not to speak ill of the elderly.
The soon to be dead.
He cocks an eyebrow and says, "That may be true. I have heard that these pies will imbue you with very pleasant dreams. It is a small comfort for those who wish it."
Pleasant nonsense.
He says, "Is that not better than this dreary world we are stuck in?"
For some, I presume.
Better to face the reality head on. than
No,
dream of
God.
Things that don't
Do we actually
exist.
agree on something?
We lock eyes for a minute.
And then they kiss.
Back off, Grandpa.
Yes,
He is
the
mine.
other.
The 18-year-old and the 30-something-year-old.
Yeah.
Apparently, Quill's got a thing for older men.
That's all she's around. She's 14.
For
What choice does she
oldest
have?
men.
There's a 20-something blonde guy right there.
I'm cooler because I can be both a lover and a pet.
You're a pet lover.
Heavy petting.
Yeah.
If you pet me right, my leg shakes.
Ew.
Thumper.
I walk
Ew.
20 feet back and I try the iron pendant I took. Quill, this is your subconscious mind. Nothing.
All right, so you continue walking along the misty
Trying
streets.
everything in my pocket to see if it's an arcane focus.
Literally none of them are. They are all full.
Not even the spooky dreidel we found.
Not even the spooky dreidel.
Only for
Thank you,
spooky
Adam.
Jewish spells.
We probably
This
walk.
is a Vistani.
We
It's
probably
close.
reach the mansion as I'm trying the bear trap.
Hello.
You arrive at the burgomaster's house, and Istvan, you have stupid high perception. Could you make a perception check for me?
Of course.
I have like a 7%. No, I don't.
You don't know anything. 18.
18. That's probably good enough. Let me just double check. Where is it? Where is it? That's not it. Aha! Aha!
Oh,
Oh.
You all spot a weary-looking mansion squatting behind a rusted iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet, against the walls, the growth has been trampled down to create a path all about the domain. Heavy claw marks have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. Great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen. Istvan, you can tell that the trampled weeds were trampled by scores of wolf paw prints and heavy human footprints.
Looks like more like a battleground than a mansion.
And you all would remember Ismark telling of the assault on the house. The devil sent his agents against the house until it broke his father's heart. As you approach, Ismark heads up to the door and he gives to the wooden door. Yes.
it's not the secret knock.
And he says, "Ireena, I have returned." And you hear the sounds of somebody moving around inside, and then the sounds of something getting moved out of the way, like someone hammering something, followed by the sounds of multiple locks disengaging, and then the sounds of a chair scraping out of the way, and then a third lock disengages, and then the door swings open. And Perrin, as this door swings open, for the viewers at home, you actually get a little bit of like a slow-mo shot. The door doesn't swing open at normal speed. It's actually in slow-mo.
And starts playing
and
Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver.
You see, where is her description? Here we are. The door swings open and you see a woman from your past standing in the doorway. It is Elisabetta, but her hair is a different color.
Okay.
Besides her black hair versus Elisabetta's auburn, like this is an exact version of Elisabetta. So much so that you are for a moment convinced Elisabetta somehow survived what happened to her.
But I just out of character, it's not her though, right?
Ismark called her Ireena.
Ireena.
So
Okay.
Does hair dye exist in Barovia?
I'm
Yes.
kind of like
Kinda grows
taken
everywhere.
back. I'm actually gonna roll a dex check to not drop the teenager in my arms.
Double take check.
Ooh, a 19 on the die, so I kind of and I
You
don't
juggle
drop
her.
her. And I look at her and I'll actually say the name again.
Her name is Elisabetta, that you remember.
Elisabetta?
She looks at you strangely and says, "No, my name is Ireena."
Hmm.
And she kind of steps to the side and says, "Please come in quickly. And Ismark steps inside the mansion and he kind of gestures for you all to step in very, very quickly.
It's a minor miracle you have all survived this long, if you are the object of the devil's attention.
Ireena says, I do not think it was a miracle. I think it is his will.
He wishes to toy with you?
Of a sort, and she kind of pulls her you can tell that she's wearing like a breastplate and she's got a blade on her hip and riding boots. Have you guys seen that pretty crappy Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman?
Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I don't recommend it, but Ireena looks exactly like the female lead from that movie. So I'll find a picture of her and throw her up in Facebook later. But she pulls her armor to the side, and she clearly shows you two marks on her neck.
I make the sign of the Morning Lord real quick, like, ugh. It's like this, because like a sunburst.
Yes.
Man, he looks
a little too
hot
cheerful
in
for
that
this.
movie.
Hugh Jackman's always hot.
Yeah, but he looks super hot. This chick?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
That chick.
What's her name again?
I'm sure.
Is that Mary?
Kate Beckinsale? That's Kate Beckinsale?
Oh yeah, it's Kate Beckinsale.
Oh,
yeah.
it is.
I don't know who that is, but cool.
Yeah, she was
Underworld. She's a
yeah.
vampire.
Yeah,
and,
she's
like,
hot.
Oh,
I-
that one. I didn't make that connection. I'm also not
Watch
entirely
the
impressed.
fuck out of this movie, by the way. Thank you.
Nice. It's corny, but it's good. It's
Okay.
also got the guy that played Faramir. Not
Yeah.
Faramir.
Okay.
Faramir, not a particularly strong acting role for him. He's the comic
No.
relief of a monk.
Uh,
As you enter into the mansion, you can see that the interior of the mansion is well furnished, yet the fixtures show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room. As you step in, you can see off in a side room, the burgomaster is lying in a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers and a faint odor of decay.
Why have you not buried your father yet?
She says that it has taken us time to build his coffin, and we have had difficulties bringing it to the church.
You're harassed by the devil's minions?
Yes, though his minions stopped as soon as my father passed.
Hmm.
The church is within Barovia? Within the town of Barovia?
She says, yes, it is just up the road. Presuming that my brother found you at the tavern, which he usually does, he kind of looks at Ismark. Then when you left the tavern, the church was right behind it on a short hill.
Yes, interesting. Church that is shadowed by the devil's castle.
She says this whole village is shadowed by the devil's castle.
Yes, perhaps we can assist with this errand on the morrow, the next day.
She says, yes, it is not good to walk the streets at night. I know that none in the village have been willing to help my brother carry his coffin.
Can I have a drink, please?
So I appreciate your willingness to help in this matter.
Could I please have a drink?
Eat your pie.
I interrupted you on purpose.
I know.
Okay.
Did Quill say that?
Yeah, that's Quill.
Did Quill say I interrupted you on purpose?
No. That was
Oh, I thought it was even better though.
Is there a couch to set her down somewhere?
Yeah, there's a couch.
I gently but firmly kind of lower her down about an inch and a half to the thing, and I just drop her.
Ugh.
Okay.
Need to wake up.
I'm awake, boyfriend.
I growl under my breath just ever so slightly. It sounds awful wolfish. And I walk away.
Meow.
So
gross.
Ismark,
Gross.
This is the girl he wishes.
Ismark, Ismark pulls you to the side while Ireena is guiding Perrin and Quill into the side room to put her to bed. Ismark says, "That is my sister. She has refused to leave until our father receives his burial."
Very well. You know this. Her situation is already likely hopeless.
I do not believe that anything is hopeless.
Well, you should look at the country in which you live.
Perrin, you're in the other room. You can't hear him.
Oh,
He is
damn it.
deliberately pulling Istvan away so that way Ireena doesn't overhear him.
Well, you should look at the country in which you live.
There you go, Paul. Yeah. I found my bestie.
Do not touch me.
Was that
Uh,
Well, you know, 6 or 1.
He says, how does he phrase it? This land is dark and this land is cruel, but there are still comforts.
Yes. Well, fortunately, my companions share your hope more than I do. This may serve you, but it may only give you false hope.
And he says, I hope that is true, but you seem to be the most competent one amidst your group. So I'm hoping to entrust you with making sure my sister is seen to safety.
If there's a job given, we do our best to. I presume if payment is made, then services are rendered.
He says,
do you have a plan? If she leaves, do you have a plan where you think she is safer than this place?
I have heard that Valaki is safe, but I entrust you more than I entrust my own opinion.
Why are you sitting like that?
Because it's
The only safety for her is the impossible: the death of the devil or leaving this land.
Well,
but prolonging her life may be possible.
That is all I hope for. I hope for her to find a place where she is no longer under his sway. He's broken into our house at least twice now.
He goes where he wishes. Very well. So you expect trouble if we leave with the body?
He says, to take it to the church? No. No one walks these streets. I merely have had no one to help me carry it.
Indeed. All right. Anything else we should know?
He says, I don't believe so. You are happy to use my father's house to rest and recuperate.
I'm rarely happy, but I appreciate the hospitality offered. Yes, and so okay, and you, my the people who travel with me may have more questions for you or more thoughts. I'm a man of relatively few words.
He nods and says, I know and expect as much.
Yeah, and I start walking back to where the rest of the group is.
All right.
One more question. Actually, I grabbed him before he goes. Do you know how long ago she got the wound on her neck?
He says, hold on a second. Let me double check. Nope. She says, I do not know. Her memory is fuzzy from the attacks.
Yes, the rumors state that the devil's kiss will cloud your mind, and that the more often it happens, the worse it is.
What? I think
froze.
I think he did. It's the reverse of a TPK. We killed the DM.
We cast hold DM.
Aha!
I did it. I found the focus.
It was a bear trap.
It was inside me the whole time.
Don't put your focus inside.
You're like Ford.
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Ah, there you go.
Oh, you made your save against hold DM.
You two,
Eastmark and Eastron.
we're talking, yeah.
And I think I was just walking away. I think I was done with the conversation.
Yes.
I was asking how long ago she received the neck wound, and I mentioned the devil's kiss. Clouds your mind, and you may only have a limited amount of time once a kiss occurs.
Every kiss begins with K.
A kiss
Thank you
begins
for
with
that
pointy teeth.
Those are my favorite kisses.
Probably.
How are those pointy? No shit.
So he says,
It sounds like you actually saved yourself.
I did. Aren't you proud of me?
Yeah, you have some good.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
you
you have impulse
You're
control.
sounding kind of quiet now.
well, I can't really do anything about that.
Oh,
No,
you're
you're
so
fine.
fine.
You're fine.
You're dumb.
You're just
You're dumb.
muttering.
I love you, Liam. I'm sorry.
So you head back over to the rest of the party, and he's offered his house for you to rest in. It's pretty late. You have already eaten. Like right now, you are either going to mark off a ration of food, or some of you could have the pie because you paid actual money for it. That would count as a meal.
Eastmark isn't offering us food for the evening.
Eastmark says that there is very little food. The house has been under constant assault, so they haven't really had a chance to go grocery shopping.
I mean, honestly, how much food can two people eat?
Besides, not really worth it to go to that store. Guys,
How does the economy even work if you don't sell things?
Who says he doesn't sell anything?
You think people are paying 200 gold pieces
Yep.
for arcane foci?
It's good for the
Foci?
economy.
Nobody's buying the arcane foci, no, but they have other food.
I'd like to wander around the mansion and see if there's something I could use for a focus.
Apparently, the femur of
Why
a
don't you
recently
just-
dead man is a really good focus.
Why don't you just find a pouch and stick all your shit in it?
The asshole for a component pouch.
Probably still couldn't afford that either, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The orb is towards the cheaper.
You can rip off part of my dress.
Actually, for Paul's clarification, the orb is one of the most expensive arcane focuses.
I said okay.
The what is? The orb?
Yeah, I couldn't remember what they cost.
The cheapest is I think a wand, then a staff, and a crystal are on the same level at 10, and then the orb is 20.
You mean 200?
At that guy's shop, yeah, it is.
Yep.
I will pull the young man aside before I go
Yeah,
settle
man.
in for the night.
Gross.
He says yes.
Yeah. In lieu of payment for helping you with your father,
You are not being paid to help my father. You are being paid to help my sister.
well, you are making the assumption that we're going to help you with your father because she won't leave without your father being buried, correct?
He says, I did not realize you were scared of a dead body.
Oh, I'm not scared of a dead body at all. But,
Then you should have no trouble carrying it to a graveyard.
well, a person in my position generally doesn't do things for free.
What's your limit?
What?
What's your limit?
Chaotic neutral, like always.
Keenop is chaotic good, thank you. And I'm also chaotic good here as well. But when
You might say that's your alignment, but let's be real.
No, I mean, I want to help, but when
Every adventurer is always chaotic neutral.
if I had my way, I'd be neutral evil. But anyways,
No, let go. Let go.
I'm stopping you.
I'm being attacked.
love you.
Call CPS.
I lost what I was going to say.
It's because you're overwhelmed by the love of a mother for her
He
son.
says, he said you should have no trouble carrying the body to the graveyard, and then you responded, a person in my position does not do anything for free.
Yes.
Did you have something else you wanted to say? Because if not, he has something he's going to say.
Yes. What are your plans once your sister leaves?
He says, the reason I cannot go with you to keep my sister safe, I need to stay here and take up my father's mantle. And if you do not wish to help me bury a good man, that is fine. I am sure your companions will be more than enough.
It's not about not burying your. It's not a matter of burying or not burying. It's just I would ask a favor. Or doing so.
He says, what is your favor?
It was just there. God, I hate medication.
Keep your face forward and turn your eyes to the left. You'll remember.
No, it does not doing anything.
Like I said,
You looked
you want me
right
to get that
first.
spot? Seems to work like magic. It does seem to work really well.
Right?
I did with Alex the other day. It worked perfectly.
It's crazy.
Never mind. I give up. I had it. I lost it.
Hold your action to remember the levels.
Well, if you think of the favor you wanted to ask him, we can revisit this.
Yeah.
I'll
Your character's not on medication, so that
No,
sounds like a fine
no.
retcon if
yeah.
you remember.
Kuatir, go ahead and make an investigation check.
I see a squirrel outside the window. I'm distracted.
It attacks
Probably
you.
an old girlfriend.
Investigation.
I found the stats for giant squirrels. Oh, I should've used
13.
You don't get the sense that they have an arcane focus, but you do find in the basement a small clump of copper wire.
Yes, copper wire.
Nice. My quest has ended.
Let me go home now.
I can die happy.
Well, at least talking
Well, we
to
have
somebody.
to pass the shop. I've gotta tell off the shopkeeper.
Look who's got copper wire. Do you like copper wire? How do you like them copper wires?
So I'm assuming you guys are gonna head to beds.
Yes.
Oh, I'm already there.
Yes.
Yeah, you're passed out on the couch, Quill. Did everybody mark off a ration?
Yep.
I didn't.
All right.
Did I?
I don't know. Did you?
I thought I was eating pie.
Do you want to eat the pie?
Yeah, let's live dangerously.
All right. Did you buy a pie?
I thought Buick bought a pie.
He's stealing Buick's pie.
That or Quill's.
So
Did Quill
You
pass
can-
out before she got a chance to eat hers?
Yep.
Oh my god, there's
Yeah.
stats for where squirrel.
so who are you trying to steal the pie from?
I'll steal it from the drunk kid.
Passed
The
out.
drunk kids is currently on Perrin, so go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
We
I
could
thought I was
you
on
could
the
just- You
bed.
could probably just
Let it
ask
count.
Baron.
I set her on the bed
Yeah.
and I'm not taking no pie.
She left the pie with her.
Yes.
Oh, you left the pie with her.
Yes.
Oh.
It's not my job to babysit.
Wow, you're just betraying Granny's trust like that. So yeah, never mind. It is an easy job to steal Quill's pie.
taking meat pies from a child.
So you have now stolen your pie from your elfkin.
She's only half elf.
You don't know that.
Well, we have now learned something important about Kuatir.
Half elf, half another elf.
Which half?
All right. Kuatir, I'm gonna need you to make a saving throw.
Yes. Con.
And- hang on.
No, I don't know.
Let me look it up.
All I have written down here is blah 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 creepy druid. No, dreidel, sorry. Blah 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 creepy dreidel.
All right. Never mind. You don't actually need to make a save. It acts like NyQuil. It makes you feel sleepy.
All right. I got a roofie from an old lady.
She did tell you it would give you pleasant dreams. So.
Congratulations. You
Well,
did
since
it.
I ate that pie, instead of doing my normal 4-hour trance, I'll take regular 8-hour sleep like a normie.
Okay. Istvan and Perrin, are you guys just going to bed?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and roll a couple of d12s.
Oh shit.
All right. Okay.
Actually, I guess, Mark, should we keep watch? We normally do when we sleep places? It seems like
Eastmark-
a good idea here, unless you tell me otherwise.
Eastmark says the house has come under attack before, but those have stopped since my father's passing.
How long ago?
He says it was a few days.
We should still keep watch.
All right, so you want to keep watch?
Yeah, me, Buick, and I suggest a parent, unless Buick or parent object, I presume we're each taking one watch.
I'll take second watch.
So Buick says that Eastmark's word is enough for him, and he's going to bed. Kuatir has passed out. Quill has passed out. So, which of the 4 watches are you guys taking?
2.
Okay.
6 hours. Why 2?
I'm 1 and 2. I mean, there's my thought.
I'll simplify this. I'll take the first watch. That's fine.
Yeah. So first and second watch, if anything's gonna happen, it's gonna be, the witching hours.
Yeah, it might be the end of the second or the beginning of the third. You're not sure which. All right, I need both of you to roll perception checks and a d12.
Okay.
Oh god.
My perception check is 6. My d12 is 7.
Are you gonna?
My perception
Mention
check
that.
is 13. My
It's not an auto
D12
fail.
is
That's
7.
only for attack rolls.
Okay. Istvan,
Yes.
during your watch, like 30 minutes to an hour into the watch, you hear the sounds of someone slamming their fist into the front door of the house.
I go wake up Perrin and Buick.
You head towards Perrin's room as you hear the sounds of Eastmark opening the door.
Fool, why are you opening the door?
He says, I recognize the voice on the other side. You're on like the second floor.
Yes. I'm willing to shout. I don't care.
So like you're standing at the top of the stairs with your hand resting on the door handle as Eastmark opens up the downstairs. So you're shouting across this like very long staircase.
I don't mind.
Yeah, sure. He says, I recognize the voice on the other side. He says, it's Mary. And he swings the door open, and inside a bedraggled and exhausted, fraying-looking, middle-aged woman kind of bursts the door in and grabs Ishmark by the front of his doublet.
Does it look friendly?
She seems to be raving about her daughter has gone missing. And Eastmark kind of gestures at you and basically is telling you not to disturb anyone. He'll handle this.
Very well.
Perrin,
I continue
you
my
definitely woke up from Istvan's shouting.
Okay. I go to the door. What's going on?
He claims a friend knocked on the door. Her daughter's missing. He says he will take care of it. Eastmark says.
Yeah. Let him. Children go missing all the time.
Man, you guys are making me depressed.
We need Buick here. Buick is the only one who really is clearly good.
And I will finish my sleep downstairs on the couch that she was on. I don't want to be upstairs.
So are you staying awake for the rest of the time, or are you going back to sleep for an hour and then waking up for 2 hours and then falling asleep for 4 hours?
I'll just stay awake for the next 3 hours and then go back to sleep. As long as I get my rest.
You'd have to sleep in, so you're not going to be able to wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning. But yes, you can.
All right.
Hot pants.
What?
All right. Istvan, after a time, you hear the sounds of Mary being escorted out of the burgomaster's house.
Okay.
Then you return to sleep. You wake up Perrin. Perrin,
Yep.
your watch passes uneventfully. You fall asleep, exhausted at having to stay up. And nothing happens the rest of the night.
Yay.
Woo. What were the sleeping arrangements?
I'm on a couch.
Okay.
I'm on the floor. I don't care.
Were there enough rooms for people, or did anyone have to double up?
There was enough rooms.
Okay.
You don't get soup.
Not Quill's here. Quill's drunk. And Perrin, you were upstairs, or you were downstairs. So, okay. I just need to make a note for Buick when he comes back.
That he was bitten by a vampire.
Bitten by a vampire.
Speaking of vampires, did I ever give you my stuff about my
Nope.
side? Oh, I didn't? Okay, I've got it in my drawing notebook.
Okay. You all awaken the next day. And
Ireena, was your rest uninterrupted?
Istvan, make an insight check.
Mm-hmm. 16.
She says that her rest was quite well, and it was good to have people in the house again. You can tell based on her like a little bit around the eyes, she was up. Like she did not get her full rest. Something happened.
Interesting. You do not look well rested. If you have any reason to suspect otherwise, now would be the time to tell us.
Quill, you're
How much hair do I have?
At this point, you have about half of your hair.
Sweet.
Does it wax and wane like the moon?
No, she lost all of her hair and it would grow back in 24 hours.
Oh.
That happened in the afternoon of yesterday, so not quite back yet.
So it is waxing for over the course of the day.
Exactly.
Istvan, you asked Ireena something?
That's interesting. You do not look well rested. If you have any reason to suspect otherwise, now would be the time to tell us.
She kind of stands up a bit, and you can see a little bit of her noble background kind of coming to the fore. She says, "It is whatever it is you fear may have happened to me has not happened last night."
Very well. As a general rule, if we are to keep you safe, of course you understand you must have no secrets from us.
She says, "I intend to have no secrets."
Wise. You'll probably live longer that way.
And she kind of looks you dead in the eye, and she says, "I suppose that it depends entirely upon you."
It may.
Yeah, she's not going to say that.
But what the devil wants, the devil gets.
She says, "If the devil wanted me dead, I would already be dead."
Indeed, I agree.
I think I might have died last night.
Quill, go ahead and make a con save.
She should really think she got bit by the vampire. That makes perfect sense. Oh no, Strahd got
21.
21.
Yeah.
You feel okay. You got that youthful metabolism keeping
That's
you
true, yeah.
on your feet.
Brush your teeth with a bottle of Jack.
Yep.
Tonight I'm a fight.
Do I remember anything from last night?
It's all pretty hazy, but yes.
All right.
You also remember a strange moment where Kuatir like walked into your room and was like patting you, and then he pulled a bundle out of your pack and then walked away. Kuatir, you have not woken up yet.
Shit.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go through his stuff and see if I can see what he. Or do I know it was the pie? Probably, because that's a new thing.
Yeah, it's kind of hazy, but you remember it being like you remember like you didn't have anything bundled up like that. Besides that,
An old lady roofied me.
by the way, Kuatir, your long rest, you should tell us what how do I describe this? Please tell us what wonderful happy dreams that were so realistic and wonderful were for Kuatir. What did he dream about?
Ooh. Oh, what do you have dreamed about?
I'm messaging you.
Me or what?
No, him.
Good, because I don't have my phone on me.
Oh, she knows.
All right.
He found an arcane focus.
I went back to the apple shopkeeper's place and was like, "What now?" and just blew him up with magic.
Well, I mean, I guess that's one opinion to have.
And after my long rest, because that dream was so awesome, I'm going to... Which one is the happy one? Spring. I will take the spring form, so my...
You're still asleep.
Yeah, when I wake up, I'm going to shift to my spring form, so I'm going to have brown hair,
Spring
my
form
skin's
pants?
going to be a bit green.
It's made.
You might want to hold off on declaring your future right now.
Well, the dream.
If you wake up, we'll take care of that.
Okay. So you guys notice Quill heads into Kuatir's room and then emerges a few minutes later.
I'm giggling.
She is giggling. And Istvan, you and Ireena were kind of having a stare down.
Yeah. Oh, my heart wasn't in it.
Okay, she seems to have. She doesn't seem to think very highly of you, the old man who weeps of sadness. Or sorry, you reek of sadness.
Yeah, I do. I'm known for my winning personality.
After a moment, Kuatir, you wake up, and as you return to this world, you realize that those dreams you had were dreams, and it leaves you feeling sad and hollow inside afterwards.
Oh, we get the benefits of a long rest, right?
Yeah, he gets the benefits of a long rest.
And we all do, right? Yeah. Cool.
So winter then. So I'll have white hair and blue skin.
Aw.
So you have all, Kuatir, as you head down the stairs and rejoin the rest of the party, the rest of you notice that Kuatir has a butt on his forehead.
Is this a new? Do you have a new elf?
He also
form?
looks completely different.
Yes.
Your butt.
Did you dye his skin blue or
No,
something?
I did not dye his skin blue. He was like that when I found him. No, he wasn't.
He's turning blue. He blew himself.
He blew himself. He said some very nice things. Your butt. It's only going to last for some time. Don't worry.
Do you feel any ill effects from
Why are you blue?
Granny's pies?
Did Granny's pie turn you blue?
I had such nice dreams, but then they were just dreams. Life is agony.
Yes.
So it seems you got a dream.
Do you want a knife to cut yourself?
I wish my lawn was emo so it would cut itself.
I've been there, Kuatir. It will pass.
I'll pull up my hood and just be like an emo kid. Just
Do it right now. You got a hood.
Yeah.
Your live action role play.
No.
Off camera, so I can't actually see
This one
anything.
is not long.
You don't need to turn the camera. I don't care that much.
Aw.
Michael, that's my child. My crotch fruit.
Beloved child.
Mom, stop calling me that.
What would you call it?
Yeah, I think it's inappropriate.
Spawn.
That's almost appropriate.
Fruit of my loins.
Technically true.
Fruit of my
Stop,
loins.
Mom.
So Eastmark says, if you will help me carry my father, we will take him to the graveyard. He will be buried. And he turns to his sister and he says, Ireena, you will stay here and pack your bag and get ready to leave.
Does she not want to be with her father when he is buried?
He says that it is not safe for her outside of this house.
She
Unless
has a
she
very
is-
nice weapon. She has a breastplate.
And she turns to you, Quill, and she says, I agree, but I do need to pack.
Okay. You're a dead father. Let's go. I'll carry him.
She cocks an eyebrow at
I
that.
think we need you to help carry him.
Yes, you do.
I'll go right over and just start picking him up.
He's in a
not
coffin.
You just grab him.
Somebody else grab his box.
Come on.
Are you really going to do that?
Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm going to carry him,
Wait a minute. I missed it. Hang on. What'd you say?
she's going to just pick up his body.
Oh, that's the
Out of
son.
the box.
You have a cart by chance?
The body is in a coffin.
It's traditional to bury the box as well as the body.
And do you have
Oh.
a cart outside or anything like that?
Why do you need a cart? You've got us.
To put the coffin on it.
He says, no, we're pallbearers.
Duh. That's why they haven't buried him, because he had nobody to help him carry. If he had a cart, don't you think he would have taken
That's
him?
why people set the bodies on fire. They can't raise. They're brought to the ground.
Do you want
It's
us to
much
burn
simpler.
That is wisdom.
Do you want us to burn your father?
We burned a
He
child.
says no.
All right. All right. Let's take this dead guy and do what we got to do. Sorry, I think I just hit the mic. Sorry.
Don't hit Mike.
Yeah.
Nothing's out there into that.
Yep.
I'm gonna put it through on pots and pans. I'll just start to try to lift it and see if I'll be like, come on.
All four.
The box.
Four of you enough will be to. 4 of you will be enough to carry it. Ismark's taking a side. Quill's taking a side.
Yes, the box also protects the body from unwanted interference.
Is it nailed shut?
No.
We will. That is the last thing we will do.
All right. How far away is the church?
Other side of town.
Other side of town.
Yeah, if you open up the map that's in the chat,
Yeah. I don't care.
there's the bottom, which is the house where you are, and then there's the top, which is the church where you're at.
Fine. I mean, I remember it well enough. It wasn't a
Oh,
very
okay.
complicated map.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that.
All right. Let's walk. And we're walking.
So you start walking towards the church. As you are walking towards the church, you can see that nobody's on the streets. It seems like people, if they're awake, are staying indoors. You make your way along, hopefully in a somewhat solemn manner, even though I question if there's an ounce of solemnity in this group.
As we pass the mercantile,
You have your hands full with a coffin. Are you taking your hands off the coffin?
someone take my corner. I gotta do something real quick.
All of us are needed for this job.
There's 5 of us. One of us isn't carrying this.
Buick.
Buick,
Take a
my
spot.
corner.
Buick takes a corner.
I kick open the door, pull out my copper wire, and whisper, "Guess who found copper wire, bitch?" And I walk out.
Does it sound like Darth Vader?
Make a deck save.
Yeah.
16.
Damn it.
All right.
That's gotta be. What'd you roll?
13 plus 3.
Aren't you proficient? No, I guess
Nah.
spiders aren't proficient in deck saves.
You hear the sounds of a glass bottle shattering on the wood right next to your head.
Get out of my store, god damn it.
Do you keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We keep walking the body.
Don't worry.
I'm
I'll come back
getting
when
to
I'm
that.
at higher level.
Take him to church.
You could take him now if you really cared. You make your way up the hill towards the church. As you do so, Ismark says, "I should warn you, there is an evilness that has settled over the church."
Now he warns us.
Isn't that just called church?
Yeah.
You do have a cleric in your party.
That was more of the not of the formal church-going place. The building is not the god.
So you're getting closer. He warns you that an evilness has settled over the church. The priest's son was taken by the devil sometime recently. Or sorry, not recently, a few years ago.
It's an ill omen indeed.
How old was the son? I'm just curious in my own head.
He says that the son was a man.
Okay.
The son was a man.
So
Did he have anything? Wait, that was the priest that said that, or that was Eastmark?
that was Ismark. You're approaching the church. You are not in the church yet.
So I would ask him, did he have anything like special about him that the devil might want to use? Or does he just take anybody? Is there a reason he takes people?
He says the rumor about town is that he took the priest's son partially because he was a pretty little thing and partially because he wanted to hurt the priest.
Pretty, huh?
That is so loud.
Both ways.
You're in trouble,
It's
Paul.
thundering outside.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so loud.
It's hail.
What are you saying? What? We're losing the connection.
We're going through a tunnel.
So atop a slight rise against the roots of the pillar stones that support Castle Ravenloft stands a gray, sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church has obviously weathered the assault of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises toward the back, and flickering light shines through holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. Eastmark guides you up towards the church doors, and as you get closer, you can see that the heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire.
Are we not going to the cemetery?
He says, the cemetery is around back. I need to fetch the priest.
There's no need. I can perform any ceremony necessary. I mean, if you wish, if you have particular attachment to this priest, feel free.
Make a persuasion check.
Sure. I'm not trying very hard, but it'll be interesting to see what he says. 10.
All right. He
I
says,
guess my ceremonies tend to be simple and uncomplicated. If you want something more involved, he may be a better choice.
he asks, having clarified your statement that you can do any ritual, and then immediately saying, well, my rituals might not be your rituals. He asks, basically, do you know the ritual of the Morning Lord to lay the bodies to rest?
Yes.
He kind of narrows his eyes a bit, and he says, well then, all right, let us...
I kind of tap his shield and kind of like with a tap it, which has the symbol of the Morning Lord on it.
Hang on a second, I need to look at something. Okay. He says, sure, we shall see the strength of your rituals.
Indeed.
And you turn and you head along the side of the church towards the graveyards. As you do so, you hear the sounds of someone screaming faintly inside the church.
Who is that?
He says, I believe it to be the priest's son.
I thought you said he was taken.
He was.
Doesn't seem to have gotten very far.
He turns to you and he says, you know, I believed a man of your age to be a very experienced person in these lands. Perhaps you should talk less.
Or smile more? Is that what you are suggesting?
It's so much prettier.
He says, I do not believe you would, even if I told you to.
Yes, you do know me.
I'm super confused right now.
By what?
How is he taken, but he's here yelling?
Probably corrupted by some evil influence.
So he's still here?
He's screaming. You heard him.
I thought he was taken.
It is
Eastmark says he was.
Bodily?
For
probably
time,
just
yes.
probably just his soul.
But he's back. So what's the problem? Maybe he can't get over
Perhaps
it?
we should talk less, lay this body to rest, and get out of here.
That's fine.
Infected by some evil, turned into a monster.
Guess who doesn't care?
Take your pick.
Guess who doesn't care? Let's do this and go.
So you asked all these questions about something you don't care about.
Yes.
Okay, just double checking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eastmark takes you around to the back and opens up the graveyard, and he guides you into a section of the graveyard that he says is where the burgomaster's gravestone is. There is not a grave dug.
Motherfuck. Oh, that was me. Sorry, that wasn't Quill.
Mm-hmm.
You seem to have missed a step.
How
He
long has
says-
this guy been dead?
Several days.
How come there's no hole for him?
He says, because I did not have any to dig it.
Well, you're not gotten anybody now either. Don't they have people at a church who dig graves?
I reiterate.
Yeah, it's
say
called
a
the
couple of
priest.
this town, it's already dead, and they just don't know it yet.
This is the stupidest place I have ever been in my entire long life. Because I am very old, and I've seen very many places, and this is the stupidest. And I don't like it, and I would like to go home.
This is some bullshit. Let's just kill the shopkeep and leave.
Oh, give me a.
Is there a shovel nearby?
Yes, there are many shovels nearby.
I'll take one, but I'm gonna only half-heartedly do it because I'm gonna super be distracted by other stuff.
Can't you become some beast that is good at digging?
No.
Ismark leans over to you, Istvan, and he says, perhaps you can start your ritual now.
Very well. And so he kind of goes into it. It's actually he sort of warms to the moment. It's a little more respectful than you might have expected. He really does kind of believe in the Morning Lord at least a little bit and have a little bit of reverence for burying the dead. So it isn't eloquent, it isn't complicated, but it is respectful and it is meaningful. He's talking about things like we go to that there is a better place beyond this land that is possible. We usually can't get there through life, but in death that may be possible. And the Morning Lord may shine on us all someday.
Do you bring the Vistani superstition about ravens into your ritual at all?
Yes. Perhaps he may become. You may see him in your memories. You may see him in his dreams, or he may become. Whenever you see a raven, know it may be this man.
Yeah, ravens carry the souls of people.
Yeah.
I'm not actually going to shovel. Oh, sorry.
He speaks a little more metaphorically than that technically, but he says basically, in any raven you see, may he remind you of the spirit of this man, and it may be him watching you.
And I'm not shoveling. I'm going to use my mage hand to just half-heartedly go
scratch. One hand at a time.
Because I carry the body. Yeah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to, and I'm not going to.
Ishvan, you and your ISs. Could you please make a religion check followed by a perception check?
Sure. Religion is 11.
Okay.
Perception is 23.
All right. As you are going through your ritual, you are doing your best. You are following the mantra of the Morning Lord from whoever taught you it. But you're as you're kind of starting to get on a roll, your how to describe it? Your concentration is broken when you spot a black cloaked individual standing on just outside the graveyard, and he seems to be watching all of you as you dig this grave.
Dig in quotation marks.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I try to keep going. I keep half an eye on him, but I essentially try to keep going. But maybe I do stumble and kind of lose my place and be like, where was I? some version of that. Yeah.
Okay.
I have to consult some form of, scroll or book to kind of follow along. I'm not that well educated about the religion, so.
Sure. Do you have a scroll or a book?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Then yeah, you consult that scroll or book. Where'd you get this book from?
For my training, that's what they give to you. It was from an older priest.
All right.
Who trained me.
And was this older priest a Vistani or a Barovian?
How common is the Morning Lord among Vistani or not in terms of worship?
Fairly uncommon. Vistani kind of worship themselves more than anybody.
Yeah. So Barovian.
I am totally
Okay.
Vistani.
Which of the 3 towns did you train at?
I'd say Valaki.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Yep.
So I also need to ask, how many of you are digging, and of those people who are digging, how many of them are digging poorly?
Me with my fake mage hand.
I have 0 strength with Like,
I mean, you're average. 0 is like
This,
average.
yeah,
You're just not.
10 is
I would
average.
assume I'm digging, and so is Buick.
Does Ismark throw in as a respect to his father?
Ismark says that he will throw dirt onto the coffin. He will help close it.
So
He's
he won't help dig.
he'll do
So,
the opposite of things.
Basically, we're doing everything for you.
He's praying over his father.
Oh, I can pray too. Watch. And
You
I use my
can.
peach hand to pray with my other hand.
Be
All
respectful.
right. So,
It's very
Kuatir,
respectful.
you
I'm
said,
praying.
Kuatir, you said that you had bad strength, but are you trying to dig or are you not really trying?
Let's just get this over with. I'll try.
Okay, so just Quill. Good to know.
Is Perrin not? I thought Perrin.
I am.
How about Buick?
Yeah.
He is.
Oh,
Okay,
of course
okay.
he is. He's a fucking kiss
Yeah, I figured.
ass. Sorry, Buick, but you are.
Kiss shovel.
He's gonna kiss
All right.
the sister.
Is Rose helping?
No, she's dead.
Rose is whispering words of encouragement in Buick's ear.
Oh.
After a time, it doesn't take too long. It takes like around the time that Istvan finishes his ritual, the grave is dug, and the body, the coffin is moved into the grave. Eastmark takes one of the shovels and begins moving the dirt back onto it. And then,
I didn't recognize the black cloak figure, right?
You can make another perception check.
Sure.
You were also the only one to spot him.
Natural 20, 25.
Oh, you definitely recognize him.
The devil?
It's exactly who you think it is.
Yes. I make it a little quicker once I recognize this. I kind of skip a couple steps and kind of summarize some pieces.
Is that true?
Yeah.
All right. I need you to make a wisdom save.
That's a natural 2 plus 5,
All right.
7.
All right. You hear in your head a very calm, soothing voice that says, "Slow down. Take your time. I want this done right, my friend." And you feel like, yeah, take. You're gonna slow down. You're gonna take your time. You're gonna do this right. This is very important, and it needs to be done correctly.
That wouldn't take a lot of persuading, so yes, I do.
But you only hear it in your mind.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Okay.
Gulp.
Oh, you're fine. Don't be a baby. After, as you finish your ritual, they put the body down. They begin burying it. You have like a follow-up ritual that you do. Like the one is to put the body to rest, and then the next one is to memorialize the fallen.
Yeah.
And yeah, you feel compelled to do it properly.
Yes.
The power of devil.
Surprises everyone. He shows a little more reverence and respect than might have been expected.
Yes. And as soon as you finish the ritual, at one point you looked away, and as soon as you finish the ritual and look back, the black cloaked man is gone.
Evil eyes may be watching us.
Are we done yet?
You don't think of him as evil. He is your good friend.
Are we done yet?
Yes,
Yes.
it is finished.
You're done.
Good. Let's go get the girl and do what we gotta do. This is boring. And now I'm dirty. Ugh. I'm gonna clean myself off,
Prestidigitation.
magically. So that I sparkle.
So you head back to the burgomaster's house. You hear, once again, as you pass by the church, you hear the sounds of crying out.
Ugh. Shut up. Deal with it. God.
If you wish, we can attempt to deal with it.
Maybe we should put him out of its misery.
You presume it's that easy, but we can investigate if you wish.
It's never easy, but
Buick's the ghost hunter, right?
It would be experience.
Or the
Yes, it
It would be
it'd be quite the experience, I believe.
well, how would Shu I would text him, but I don't want him texting and driving. Do you think Shu would feel compelled to go in and try to be a goody two shoes and help? Not Shu, Buick. Do you think Buick would want to try to help this thing that he hears? Considering he's rushed in to help.
I presume he would.
Then sure, yeah, why not?
Let's head up to Ravenloft while we're at it.
Hey,
Yes.
negatory, good buddy.
I'm just
He
saying.
also-
he's
he does
listing
feel-
like
To be fair, Buick was the one proposing that you trade Ireena for Thorn. So
Wait, he
he's,
did?
he's a bad guy with some good veneer. So don't award too much focus to that.
All right.
You can go into the church or you can keep walking. Ismark seems like he is satisfied in his father having a proper burial and is now looking to return to the burgomaster's hut
Then
and
let's
get
go in the church. If it'll piss him off, Quill would totally do that.
Yeah, I'll go in the church.
Let's go with.
Man, I sure hope Stephanie's enjoying this game because it sounds like Quill absolutely hates everything going on. And doesn't want to
She's
do anything.
14, dude. Have you ever met a 14-year-old?
And you've succeeded. Barovia's crushed your spirit. That's the whole point of Barovia. This is the result. The whole point of.
The only 14-year-olds I met were when I was 14, and when I was 14, I was already 20. So no, I haven't.
You have siblings.
Yeah, but they were assholes. They weren't.
That's my point, sweetie. Assholes.
No,
All
they were.
14-year-olds.
That doesn't. Yeah. Anyways, so you're going. They were too sneaky to deliberately try and piss somebody off. They just did their own thing, and then when they got caught, ignored being yelled at.
Sounds about right.
That's not what you're doing. You're saying I want to piss this guy off. So yes, let's go in the church.
Well, he didn't help shovel.
He did.
His own father.
He
Yeah.
helped reverse shovel.
Doesn't count. In
It's still
reverse.
shoveling.
You would know that it's not usually the bereaved who needs to do the digging at a or not Buick, Istvan. You would know it's not the bereaved who needs to do the digging at a funeral.
It's the bereaved who needs to do the being useless.
Yes, but often there is a grave digger.
You guys stopped him from getting the gravedigger, the priest.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's true.
And now you want to go in the church.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Let's kill another child.
For some reason, I presumed the priest wasn't going to be a very effective gravedigger, but maybe just because I'm not a very effective gravedigger, but maybe.
You watch dice camera action. The priest is, as soon as you make a good persuasion check, he's amazing at it.
Very well. You wish to investigate?
I don't know. I just thought it might.
I'm
be
talking to
fun.
Perrin or
Okay.
Buick or whoever.
Buick says that perhaps it would be worth our time to investigate.
I'm always up for destroying the devil's toys.
I've got some magic to test out.
All right, Mr. Smithers,
Let's go through the front
Mr.
door.
Burns, or whatever his name is, Mr. Burns.
Sometimes appeasing the devil is the only way to actually survive in this land.
Actually, we'll go the back door. Since we're already, is there a door from the grave side?
No. There's the front doors, and that's it.
So we'll go through the front doors then.
All right. So you are going into the church because right now you're at the front doors.
Yeah, we're going in the church.
Like as you rounded the church and found the road ahead of you, that's when you heard the screaming. All right, you go in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Why not?
Because somebody is screaming inside. That's why.
We're very helpful.
Yeah, there's two kinds of screaming though. There's bad screaming. And good screaming.
So these doors are, as described, covered in claw marks and scarred by fire, and very heavy. Who's pushing them open, and are they pulling an Aragorn?
No, I'm not gonna be
Aragorn
like,
can pull an Aragorn.
yeah, I'm not that cool. I'm just gonna open them. Well, like, like, not like thermal, but like kind of,
These aren't the kind of doors that you can do that with. They're the kind of doors you have to that with.
Fine, I'll do that then.
All right. The door opens to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers. So there's 2 doors on the left, 2 doors on the right, and then the main chapel in front of you. You can see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer. Suddenly, the prayer is blotted out by the inhuman screaming that rises up from beneath the wooden floor. Ishtvan and Perrin, you can both make perception checks because you have wisdom perception. You guys have stupid high.
23.
14.
All right, Ishtvan, you can make out that this scream is not just a scream of pain or anything. It is a demand. I'm too tired and drained and stressed to actually like role play it, but what you hear him say is it's someone calling out to their father to feed them.
Hungry.
Yes.
Hungry.
Feed me, Seymour.
Moisturize me.
Yes.
They say that they are starving.
Starving father.
Yeah, I could pull up Chris Perkins doing it, but I didn't think to do it. So
I didn't either. I didn't remember it specifically, but I'm probably unconsciously channeling him. So
that was literally it.
okay.
I'm starving.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yell for the priest.
The hold on, did I? You do not see the priest.
I yell for him.
No response. You hear someone. You heard someone praying from the chapel.
Excuse us. Hello.
You said there was how many doors?
4.
4 doors, 2 on each side, and then the
4.
chapel directly ahead.
I'll take the one immediate to the right.
All right. Hold on. I gotta find that damn map. There it is. All right. Immediate right. Cool.
Yep.
So we hear the praying coming from the chapel, and then the
Yeah.
screams drown out the praying, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where is it? I hate PDFs so much.
I do too.
The passion. All right. Perrin, you're kicking open the door on the immediate right.
Yep.
As you do so, inside you can see that time and neglect have punched holes in the ceiling of this moldy room, which contains a few broken roof shingles amid puddles of water. In one corner, set into the floor, is a heavy wooden trapdoor held shut with a chain and padlock. Once again, you hear the scream of anguish come through the trapdoor.
This one.
Yes.
Come here.
Yes.
What is it?
I point to the padlocked door or padlocked thing on the floor.
Trap door.
There you go. The padlocked trap door.
Yes. Trap may be the operative word.
I think I found the entrance to wherever this thing is crying from.
Oh yes. This is the source of the screaming. Someone may have locked it for a very good reason.
Perhaps we should just leave it locked.
You hear someone shouting. The scream cuts across the room again.
I'll stomp on the floor. Shut up!
The floor is made out of stone, so that has no effect.
Floor is lava.
Floor.
Solidified.
So you want to check the rest of the rooms for the priest?
You were the ones interested in investigating.
I'll go open the next door on that same side.
Okay. That would be opening up this door. You can see an old desk and chair stand against the south wall, a wooden symbol mounted above them, a sunburst. 10-foot-long iron rod attached to the north wall stands bare, suggesting a tapestry once hung here. Against the far wall stands a wooden cabinet with 4 tall doors. And as you move closer to the chapel, you can again hear the sounds of someone praying within.
This is kind of freaking me out. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Yes, this is disturbing.
You hear
check,
someone scream from within the trapdoor again.
I'll check the first door on the left.
Okay. You open up the first door on the left, and Hold on. There it is. Inside, you can see this dirty, lightless room contains a wooden bed with a straw-filled mattress. Mounted above the bed's headboard is a holy symbol. You also see a small stack of books on a nightstand. The books are covered with a thick layer of dust.
Question.
Yes?
When we open the doors, is there wall on either side of the door, or is it literally just doors and then the walls? Do you know what I mean? Like,
It opens up wider than the door.
yeah, okay. So I'm gonna go sit down, like next to the door with my back against the wall and just wait because I'm bored and I'm freaked out and I don't want anything coming up behind me.
So,
Yeah,
are you
you
gonna close the door, or are you going into it?
No. Does it fully like almost flush open up?
Like the door is a 5-foot section of the room. The
Yeah.
room is like 20 by 20.
So there's space beyond the door, right? Like, if
Yes,
the door is
there's
open-
plenty of space beyond
Yeah.
the door.
Then I'm just sitting somewhere there. I just don't want anything coming up behind me.
So you're sitting inside of the office.
In the hall. No, sorry, in the hallway
Okay.
where we first came in, those first main doors.
Okay.
To the side of one of those doors, if there's room on the wall.
Oh, those doors.
Yes, sorry.
Oh no, there's those doors. One of those doors is pushed open. You'd have to sit with your back against the other door, or like.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. All right. There's one more door you haven't opened, and the chapel itself.
I'm gonna walk to the chapel itself.
Oh, and I'm gonna have my crossbow out because this is fucking fucked.
Yeah.
I'll check
So,
the last door. Well,
all right.
after
We'll do Puitzier's first because it's
just a door.
It's not a door, it's ajar.
I mean, you can hear the praying. You know where the priest is.
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, probably. This is not a big miss.
Opening up the fourth and final door, this dirty room contains a wooden bed with a straw-filled mattress, next to which rests a small table with an oil lamp burning brightly on it. Mounted above the bed's headboard is a wooden, sun-shaped holy symbol. Now, Perrin, you're heading into the chapel proper.
Yep.
As you approach, you can see that the chapel is a shambles, with overturned and broken pews littering the dusty floor. Dozens of candles mounted in candlesticks and candelabras light every dusty corner in a fervent attempt to rid the chapel of shadows. At the far end of the church sits a claw-scarred altar. As you draw closer, you can see that behind the altar kneels a priest in soiled vestments. Next to him hangs a long, thick rope that stretches up into the bell tower. And as you move closer, you can hear him continue to pray. He's basically mumbling to himself, and you hear once again somebody cry out how starving they are.
Priest.
He seems to ignore you as he focuses on his prayers.
How far away is he from where I am?
Are you gonna try and shoot him?
He is on the other side of the chapel.
But within range of my crossbow.
Yeah, if you wanted to shoot him, you could.
I don't want to shoot him. I want to shoot next to him and see if I can get his attention. I don't want to shoot him. Please. I don't want to shoot him.
Like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. You can't actually see him. He is kneeling behind the altar.
Well, then I'll shoot above the altar.
So you're just going to randomly shoot over Perrin's shoulder as he's talking to somebody in the chapel. Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead,
I'm
make your roll.
going to aim high enough that it's probably not in person range.
Yeah, we'll see if that's true. Roll a d20.
Yeah.
You can certainly try.
So I'm doing a regular attack roll.
I mean, don't bother adding your modifier. If it's a natural 1, you shoot Perrin in the back. Otherwise, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Please be a 1. Nah, it's a 13 plus whatever.
Yeah. It's not difficult to aim your crossbow in such a way as to sail through the air and strike the stone wall behind the altar. Perrin, you hear the sounds of the crossbow bolt fly past you. And then you see it fly past you and slam into the stone wall.
So I'm gonna go around the altar and haul the priest to his feet.
All right. As you lean down and pick him up, he kind of seems to snap out of it a little bit. And he looks at you and he says, "Oh, my son, how can I help you?" And you can tell that his voice is hoarse and weak, like someone who's been talking for hours on end.
We buried the former burgomaster out back. at the behest of his son.
By the way, Ismark did not come with you. He was like, if you guys are going in there, I'm just going to head back to the house. I'll meet you there.
Yeah, should have told him to meet us in the square with his sister.
Call him.
He doesn't want the sister to leave the house.
She's gonna anyway.
Without us in tow, I think.
How long has your son been downstairs?
He says, how does he phrase it? How would he put it? He says, my son has been trapped in his, actually, he doesn't say trapped, he says cursed. My son has been cursed for 3 years.
That is a long time.
Why are you praying?
I pray for the Morning Lord to bestow a miracle upon his faithful servant and cure my son of his entrapment.
Wow, your prayers have been answered. And I point towards Esteban. We have an agent of the Morning Lord here with us. What shall we do, agent of the Morning Lord?
And
Answer his
agent of the Morning
prayers.
Lord, agent of the Morning Lord, do you have holy symbol as a shield, or do you have one as a necklace, or both?
Actually, both make sense.
Cool. Okay. He locks eyes with you, and he gives you the priest nod of a fellow agent.
Yes.
Is that like a lecherous kind of leer?
Grasp my butt.
You're too old.
Never too old.
Never too old.
There's grass on the field.
He might be an elf. He could be hundreds of years old.
Age is the difference between a squeeze and a pad.
I suppose I should mention that the more jokes you make, the more horrific I'm going to try and make this.
That's important. You know, the humor makes the horror more horrific. So, wait, no, that means you need less horror then.
So he seems thankful that there is a fellow priest who seems to be indicative of someone who Perrin is trying to convince him is someone who can help.
Yes. What precisely happened to your son?
He caught. How does he say? He says he caught the devil's eye. Actually, no, he doesn't say that. He absolutely does not say that. He says that the devil decided to make him a plaything.
How did he change?
He was stolen away in the night, and then when he returned, he thirsted for the blood of innocents.
That is bad indeed. We may not be able to save him. We may not be able to do anything. Although we may be able to destroy the remains of his form.
He says, if that is the miracle you propose, then I will have no part of it.
Fair enough.
Coming up.
I suggested no miracle. The Morning Lord himself provides, but not as often as most would like.
Does anybody else want to say anything, or is it just me and Paul playing with each other?
Oh, that's my kind of game. Continue, please.
Our friend Buick here is very good at miracles as well.
Yeah, Buick's got a little girl inside him, even.
He saved some children and a dog.
All right, Kuwit's here. Make a deception check, because that is absolutely not what Donovich wants.
It is so 10, 11. I am so good at this.
So, Esteban, do you trust your Morning Lord to help assist this man and his son, or are we going to walk away?
He's refused the only assistance that I can come up with.
You really want your son to live indefinitely in this horrific form?
I kind of really want to sneak down in that trapdoor and kill him.
It is padlocked.
I got thieves' tools.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm proficient in thieves' tools.
Well, Donovich is distracted. You can sneak down there if you want.
And then Quill dies.
Yep.
No. I won't. Oh God, I want to so bad.
Well,
If you want to so bad, then do it.
Do it. You wouldn't think.
I don't know if
You'll
Quill
probably
wants
get
to.
inspiration for doing it.
She already
I'm not
has
sure-
inspiration. Everyone has it.
Oh, that's true.
We just haven't used it yet. I don't
Wait,
know how to use
I don't
it.
have inspiration.
All right.
Oh,
Wasn't
yeah,
fun.
you weren't part of the music competition. So
Then you need to
sorry.
sneak. You need to sneak down. And
Or I just rough the priest up and take the key.
That's
Get down
prob-
there anyway.
that's not very
going
inspiring.
Down. I'm going down.
All right, you slip into that area. I'm gonna say unnoticed. You're not gonna have to bother with a stealth check. Everyone's busy talking.
All right.
Go ahead and make a lock picking check.
So that is wait a minute. It's sleight of hand.
No, it's
No.
proficiency plus dex
Oh, so just my regular dex modifier.
Plus your
and your
proficiency.
proficiency bonus.
Basically, your stealth check.
And then inspiration I could use for this, right, to make sure I don't fuck it up.
Yeah, you can say that after the roll.
Oh,
You don't
okay,
need to do it
okay.
immediately.
Oh fuck yeah, I'm taking. Oh wait, what does that do?
It allows you advantage.
Yep, then I'm doing it. Yeah, 16 is better than 4. So 16 plus 3 plus 2, 19, 20, 21.
21. All right, that's. I don't even have to bother looking it up. That is more than enough. You have picked the lock.
And I'm gonna scoop myself down there and try not to die. Oh, can I quick mage armor myself? Do I have time?
I assumed you already did it when you woke up.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I wasn't going to because I didn't know how long we'd be, but I'm gonna do it now. Mage armor. Okay.
Okay, you do it now.
Yep.
Are you gonna try and open it?
Yep.
Make a strength check. Everyone else, as you are talking with the
Yikes.
priest,
Sorry.
what'd you get?
10.
10? Damn,
Yeah.
so close. How to handle this? I would like everyone to please. Actually, everyone, tell me what your passive perception is.
14.
12.
Quill, I don't need yours.
Oh,
this
sorry.
has to
said
deal with you.
everybody.
Everyone else.
15.
15.
12.
Yeah. All right. So, what's Quill?
Yes,
you
sir.
unfortunately, this trapdoor seems to have been wedged shut, but you can try again.
Yes. And it's gonna get higher, but yep, I'm gonna try again.
Make
We
sure
don't
check.
know we haven't
Wait.
yet noticed what's going on.
Nope.
Hang on, I want to see if I have anything on me that I can use to pry it open with. Would there be a thingy? What do you call that thing in an explorer's pack? A crowbar?
No, it doesn't automatically come
Okay.
with it.
Okay.
The thieves pack might, but
Fuck, that's worse.
He
That's
pulled
worse.
a hammy.
and in fairness, I'm not expecting her to do this, so I can understand why maybe I might not notice.
Yeah.
All right. It's still stuck. Do you want to try again?
Does the person on the other side know she's trying to she's popped the lock and is trying to open it?
If I can't do it, I'm just gonna. Can I put the lock back? Or
I'm
once
saying-
it's picked, is it done?
I'm saying, is
I mean,
the
are
person on
you
the other
backing
side
out
trying
right
to
now?
open the trapdoor?
Wait, say what, Michael?
Are you backing out?
I mean, if I couldn't do it twice, I'd probably
feel
get
like-
frustrated.
I feel like you it's giving. You might actually get it this next time.
Does it feel like it's giving?
Yeah, like
Oh,
you're
okay.
not a not strong person. It's just hard.
Oh, 19.
All right.
That part of the face.
And to answer your question, Paul, the person in the undercroft has now become very quiet.
Oh, fuck.
You pop the trapdoor open without causing too much noise.
Okay.
I think I would notice if he got quiet.
He's not perpetually screaming. He's
Okay.
He just occasionally will scream out. He's been trapped down there for 3 years and it still hasn't worked. So he doesn't do it all the time because he's just stuck down there and with nothing better to do. And
I asked the priest, would you move on with your life if your son was no longer here?
he says, no harm will come to my son while I live under this roof.
You make some. You have rules for some type of divine intercession, right?
In my normal games, I do, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is there some way? I'm willing to try to. I mean, I'm not convinced it'll do anything, but is there something I can do to try to pray to see if the the Morning Lord allows any, would assist in this endeavor or not?
What kind of assistance are you looking for?
Well, I'm wondering if there's any way the Morning Lord can tell me to undo it.
Can you divination yet? You
No.
can't divination yet.
All right. Yeah, I just need to pull up an old document, so just give me a second.
Sure.
I'm an
You
asshole.
should have made it like classic Ravenloft where you lost your connection to the gods.
This is the god that's actually alive in the land.
Oh, I have 2 force
I think
in
in
my hair.
classic Ravenloft, you talk to your god, but it's actually just Strahd. Like Strahd basically intercepts the
Yeah,
call.
the way my friend did it is I had to amass followers of Paylor in order to actually have enough strength to cast my spells.
So you have to be evangelical.
Yeah,
You'd be like,
because
have you heard the good news?
Yeah.
Paylor's risen.
Paylor's back.
Paylor's back. He's coming back.
Paylor's back.
You can be born
Tell a
again.
friend.
All right, go ahead and make a religion check.
9.
You do have inspiration.
Yeah, but I don't care that much.
I love this game.
Okay.
What a bunch of assholes. We're the best.
I've more accurately, I've gotten to the point where I hardly believe in miracles, so I'm not. My full force of my personality is not behind it. If more good things start to happen, maybe I'd be willing to. Or if the stakes are higher.
You call out for divine intervention.
Oh.
And you can hear someone on the other side trying to reach out to you in response. It's like you're standing at one end of a tunnel, and at the other end of the tunnel, someone is like a light on the other side.
I'm presuming that's actually as good as it gets for Istvan. That's the sort of the best moments of his life have been that close, and that's as close as it gets.
That might be the case, but you can feel the sort of tugging, like someone is trying to say to put in a little bit more effort.
The god you were trying to reach is not
available
right now.
You still have the opportunity to use the inspiration.
He's kind of curious. Okay. 9.
9 again?
Yep.
That's fake for you, right?
He's not trained in religion,
Well, you rolling natural 9s?
2 natural 10s. I've got a -1.
Oh shit.
I'm very uneducated.
I'm pretty sure.
Actually, that raises a good point. I have a little caveat here where if you aren't a religious person, you can replace it for a simple wisdom or charisma check.
Okay.
So he's a fucking cleric.
The wisdoms would have been 12 then.
Yeah. I figured as much.
Yeah.
All right, 12. You do actually hear someone, and they say that they can help you with this.
God, I hope it's Strahd.
It is it is definitely not the devil. It is as they approach, they seem to be a beautiful woman dressed in a golden gown, backlit by the sun itself.
It's Akili. Does she have wings?
No.
Oh, I haven't put them out yet.
Achilles gonna bash his brains in.
Yes. What do I need to do?
She says, how would she say this? This is such a critical moment, and I was not expecting it.
Take a bio break because you probably need it anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's a
I
good
could use
idea.
one as it is. And
Well,
then you
it's
can
9
think about-
o'clock. It's might as well just end the session here.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
Yes. She says,
Oh.
"Here's what I need you to do," and then fade.
Smash cut to the credits
Yes.
with Kuatir's song choice playing over as
You say
Istvan is approached by the Morning Lord.
Star Wipe. Nice. Cool.
I guess I should actually say that she's the Morning Lady.
Ah.
Barovians are kind of sexist.
Did I know that, or is that a revelation to me?
That's probably a revelation. Most people don't talk to gods.
Yes, I would imagine.
Wow.
I'm a little speechless.
The NPC conversations were boring as shit, but there were plenty of interesting events happened, so that was entertaining.
We're self-entertaining.
That's true.
Hold these truths to be self-entertaining.
Do we have a session, an episode title?
Yes, we do have an episode title. The episode title is
Oh.
A New Sun Rises.
A new, how do you spell sun?
See, if it's written, you have to spell it out.
It's SON.
Rises?
Rises.
Although you could say it's an announcer who speaks the title.
Yeah, that's
this
true.
week on.
A new sunrise.
So it's Never Sunny and Broke.
Yes.
Yeah. A new
That's the
sunrise.
subtitle. It is still called Strahd's Curse.
Strahd's Curse.
So yeah, I need to make a note. Oh Jesus, Istvan has so many notes now. Istvan,
He's a troublemaker.
Noteworthy.
Morning Lady, Miracle.
Dude looks like a lady.
All right, that'll be an important shot to make up. I already mentioned this to Paul, and I think I mentioned it to everybody else, but we will not have a session in 2 weeks. The 14th, I will be leaving for my trip. So our next session, due to our scheduling methods, will be on the 28th of April, and that will be a completely in-person session.
Nice. Woo! No
Um,
Chinese when you get back.
Well, that's mean. Whoever wants to host can. I don't particularly care. It can't be at my house because I don't have a decent place.
Mhm.
And yeah, that'll be a nice everyone together session, which should be fun.
Yeah, very cool.
Let me text Shu.
And yeah, I'm gonna stop the recording here.